Okay, we've got this fairly simple ladies engagement ring. It needs to go up. It needs to go up quite a bit. It is now size 9 1/4, full size 9 1/4. It's got to go up to an 11. Okay, so I'm gonna cut it. Here, I put my finger under here like this to steady it and cut straight across. And I'm gonna cut it here because I think there was a solder there before. Don't push the saw blade, let the saw do its work on its own. Remembering that it only cuts on the way down. Okay, we cut it. We're gonna spread it open to size we need. Carefully like this. I'm supporting the weight here so it bends properly all the way around and stays round. Go once, do the other side like that until we get it to where we want it. I want it to fit just below 11. I want a little bit of tension when I put a new piece in, but not too much tension. Yeah, about there. Now I want these lines to be straight. I don't want them on an angle like this. I want them straight because the piece I'm going to put in is going to be cut the same way, and I don't want it to pop out. So I have a piece of stock. I want to bend it a little bit like that. Okay, I want it flat like we spoke. And now show you a little trick that I think will serve you well. Now that I have it open to where I want it, I'm going to take this and I'm going to basically, I want that little line right there. See? That's going to tell me exactly how big a piece I need. I don't like that mark, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of that and mark it again. So it's over here. There, now we can see it better. So now I'm going to cut it off where I need it. There's my little mark. You can delete that. And I'm cutting it straight. Make sure there are no burrs. See how it likes it in there? Pretty good. So now I'm going to solder either both sides. Actually, I'm probably going to just solder the one side first and then straighten it out. Yeah. So I want to see that it fits in there properly. I got enough metal underneath. Okay. Some alcohol and boric acid to protect the metal from fire scale. There's our green fire that my kids used to love so much. Okay, so we're gonna solder the right there. Make sure we got the flux all the way through. And we're going to use the mini torch. Get that out of there. Mini torch, we don't need a lot of heat here. We got our solder or all it's moved. Hold on a minute. There. Yeah. All right. Okay, so not too much oxygen. You don't want to boil the solder. You want this to go nice and slow to avoid all the tension on there. Kind of heat the whole ring. Then get to the part that you need to heat. Heat this first and then apply the solder. There. That's nice. It's not straight there, so I'm going to straighten it out a little bit because I want that solder to be where I want it. I could play with that piece of stock and make sure it fits perfectly and straight, but I find this is faster. So now we're going to do the other side. Some flux. And we're going to solder the other side. A little piece of solder. Like that. I'm going to do it again. We're going to heat it all. Watch where your flame is, how much oxygen is in your flame. Not too much oxygen. You don't want to boil the solder again. There. And I want to make sure that's all flowed the way I want it. Yes, you see that ring was soldered before. So if we had any tension on it, this thing would go flying. And we don't want it to go flying. Now that we got it soldered, first before I do anything, I want to make sure that my inside is done properly. I'm holding on to my ring over here. I got it fixed so it doesn't slide around. The file only cuts forward, so try not to drag your file backwards. All right, I'm gonna do this real quick. We used to make these 20 years ago by hand. Now you can buy them, which is nice. Make sure it's nice and round. Put it on my mandrel. Yeah, it's almost to 11. That's exactly where I want it. Now I'm going to tap it a little bit to make sure that it's straight. And make sure that it's right on size. Like that. I'm going to make sure it's straight this way. And then I'm going to take my buff stick, and I got my little notch there. Got one side. Nice. Do the other side and then do the top. Another something that you should learn to do. When you're using your file, you're only using your wrist. Your elbow stays locked. Basically, you want to follow the contour of the ring. You want to make that line so there's nothing visible. Then you turn it to the side. I'm noticing that a lot of jewelers these days, they don't pay attention to this, but you want this thickness to be uniform. So I'm gonna take it to the side and make sure that it's uniform. Take my buff stick, even that out from both sides. The solder looks nice and solid. I'm going to take my inside, this thing, and make sure that I'm happy with this end. I shouldn't be able to see with the solder joint at all at this point. And definitely not after I polish it. There we go. We're going to polish it up and it'll be perfect. The customer will never see where it was repaired. And everything's going to be happy. Thank you. Subscribe to the channel. Please hit like. And I will try to get you as more stuff as I possibly can. Get you more information. Please comment. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer you. Thank you.